Oh, that's Cheap Awesome Guitars.
Yeah, they think I like that page.
Huh.
There's lots of baiting on that page. Picked this up at a pawn shop for $500. Did I get a good deal? Well,
No.
brand new, those are $125. Okay.
Do you feel like you got a good deal? So yeah, Joy's been reading me some things from that. She gets like guitar stuff on, was that Instagram or Facebook or something? And she was reading me some stuff from the cheap guitars and thinking, I spending money irresponsibly is something that I absolutely positively support in just about every endeavor, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
But spending money even irresponsibly with an intent to get something decent is kind of where I like to think I live now. Completely irresponsible, but I still want something good. You know what I mean? So anyway.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars, and Chris is going to do the whole show tonight because I'm sleepy, tired. I got up early today, Chris.
You did.
Don't worry, sir.
I got up early too, not as early.
I'm going to have some caffeinated chocolate. You want a piece? You want to try some? It tastes just like regular chocolate.
It's because regular chocolate has caffeine in it.
But this is added caffeine, as is my understanding.
Okay.
Oh no,
that's good.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna have a little now and a little later,
and save some for later. I'm gonna have a coffee too. So, Chris, we have some good stuff to talk about tonight. And we need some input from you guys. Normally, I say, don't give me any input, but tonight I need input from you guys, and you're gonna love it. So, but before we do, Chris, are you ready for the lightning round?
I am. So it's National Margarita Day.
How are you doing for Margarita Day?
Well,
that's not one of the questions, by the
way. Do you think if I put tequila in my tart cherry limeade, I could count that as a really bad margarita?
Kind of.
They were talking about how Chili's had a deal on margaritas. I'm thinking this wouldn't be that much worse than Chili's margarita.
Well, you just add a bunch of sugar probably, and then you're in the ballpark, right? All right. So thanks for hanging out with us, you guys. Oh, so I guess Ike and the guys someone's sick at Flipside or someone hurt his back. That's right. That's right. So I told everybody yesterday to watch Ike today. And then so the best laid plans, right? Yeah. Okay, Chris, are you ready for the lightning round, sir?
Yes.
Some of these may be exactly what I asked Ike yesterday.
Okay, good, because I was thinking about my answer to some of Ike's questions.
Okay, some of them are brand new. Are you ready?
Yes.
Hot tub or sauna?
Hot tub.
Zoo or circus?
Zoo.
Which guitar did you sell that you wish you could have back?
64 Jazzmaster.
Text or call?
Well, call, but at this stage of the game, either one.
YouTube or cable?
YouTube.
What is your holy grail guitar? You can either have it and you're happy about it, or you could get it one day maybe.
59 Jazzmaster.
Okay, what are you watching on Netflix?
I have been watching Love Actually.
What effect?
No, I'm sorry, Love. Not Love Actually, not the movie Love Actually. That's a Christmas movie.
At my house, I think you can watch that movie. That's a any month movie.
Yeah. Human Resources.
That's the name of it. Okay. What effect pedal would you have if you could only have one? Sub question: why is it not chorus?
Does a reverb tank count as a pedal? It does. So reverb tank. And why is it not chorus? Because that's what 12-string guitars are for.
Because you're not Aaron Claflin?
Correct.
All right.
Is that it?
That's it.
I think I did pretty well.
I think you did great. Yeah. You do very well on the
well, I try because I'm very conscious of time.
Yes.
And trying to set a good example for others.
And you know what?
I had not seen the show.
That's okay. But he did pretty well. So what we should I would love to know what some of y'all's answers to lightning round questions are. But But we actually have some legitimate ass questions for tonight's show. One of the things that we've been talking about and that you guys have asked me about is how many more workshops are you going to add this year? What's going on with workshops? As of right now, one of the workshops that is on the website right now is sold out, and that's May. Okay. But I think there are some spots in every workshop other than the May one right now. I can tell you that we will not be adding any more woodworking workshops this year. The one or two that are up there, I think there's two that are up there. That's it. There's not going to be any more woodworking workshops this year. There is going to be another 52 no caster workshop in August.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly the dates, but you know what, I haven't even put it up on the website yet so that you can like sign up. Mostly because it's halfway sold out already. And I think that what's going to happen is it's just going to sell out. And I won't even need to put it up on the website. But I can put it up there or you know what, if you want to go to that one in August, I think it's like the first week of August and culminates in the 100-ounce challenge Great American Guitar Building Contest.
Yeah, because that's on the 10th.
On the 10th. So whatever it's like the 4th or whatever.
Yeah, the 5th through the 9th.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it would be
okay. Yeah. So if you guys want to do the 52 no caster workshop in August, there's 3 spots left. Okay. If you want to come to that one, send me an email and let me know that you want to come to that one, and we'll get you in. The other thing that we've been talking about is the Paul Reed Smith workshop, which is one that we've never done, but we've had such good luck with those workshops where like the $9,000 Strat workshop. And that one, if you'll recall, was, first of all, it's not $9,000. The reason we call it $9,000 Strat class is because the place where we sourced the bodies, the necks, the hardware, and the pickups all were also sold to another guy who charged $9,000 for his guitars. So I'm like, we could make something that's just as fun as that, and you get the same guitar, and it's way less money, and you get to
do it yourself.
Yeah,
and you get to hang out with us.
Yeah, what's more fun?
Yeah, nothing.
So that was really fun, though we don't have any of those scheduled for this year. The reason that we don't is because I think we maxed out on Strat stuff. No one wants to do Strat stuff anymore.
Okay.
But a lot of people asked about Telly stuff, so we thought, well, let's do a similar Telly thing.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to call it the $9,000 Telly class or workshop. So we decided to call it the 52 no caster workshop.
We thought that the $9,000 Strat class name was entertaining, and it was funny to us. And if you came to the class and we told you the story, it's now funny to you. There were some people that couldn't figure out, not any of you, because you guys aren't stupid shit asses. But there were people that couldn't figure out that it wasn't a $9,000 class that we were offering.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's better to name things a little more conventionally.
Yeah.
So which is why we're calling this one
the 52 no caster class.
Don't be a dipshit. No.
The 52 no caster workshop. Speaking of workshops, Don wants to know, is there anyone other than John, that's his nephew, that's going to be in the May workshop? And Gary Redburn is going to be there, Doc. I don't know if I think you've met Gary before. And Gary's a super cool dude, and some other people too but I'm not looking at the list, so I don't know, but I just happen to know that Gary's going to be there. Everyone else that's going to be there,
even if that's all that shows up
too.
Good class.
Yeah. So what's going on? So we get a handful of people that are like, technically the 52 no caster is that, look, we're supplying you with an ash body, maple neck with a maple fretboard, unless someone said, hey, can I do a rosewood? Fine. Yeah. And we're supplying you with Dylan pickups, And that says it on the website. And by the way, it has said that on the website from day one, because I basically copied the
stole
Strat.
everything from the Strat one and made the changes we need to make.
So that one, it's always been Dylan pickups. Someone was like, "Oh, I didn't see that it was Dylan. I didn't know that. If I would have known that, I would have done." Well, I'm like, "Well, it says it on the website." And I had to go check though, but it does say it. So, but you know what? Maybe it's, I don't.
Whatever.
I apologize. Anyway, so I'm telling you right now, I guess what I'm driving at is I'm letting you know now that if you want to deviate from what you get, you can a little bit, but don't come in and think you're going to build a super Strat with a Floyd in it.
Or a building a telly. You're building a slab ash telly,
and it's going to be excellent.
It is.
And so Dylan pickups, Callahan everything.
Hardware. Yep, everything, including a lacquered Bakelite pick guard. Now, if you want something else, bring your own.
Yeah.
But that's what you get.
So the guy who was like, I bought pickups for this, he said, well, that's okay. I'm like, you still get the pickups. And he's like, okay, cool. So
sounds like another project.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so that one's coming up. Forgive me, guys, I don't know the dates for all these, but I do know that the No-Caster one, the added one, is in August. But there are, and like I said, there are some spaces in most of the workshops except May. May is all the way sold out. So, and the woodworking ones, those are the last ones. That's probably the last ones we're ever going to do, the woodworking workshops. Not because they're not fun. The liability insurance is killing me. That's really what it is. I have to figure out a way to throttle that back a little bit. So the other reason that we're doing a lot more of these workshops that you walk out with a guitar that's fully playable is that a lot of the guys who did the woodworking workshops, even if they signed up for the paint extension, they had a guitar that was painted and they couldn't play it until they got home and put all the stuff on it. You know? So one of the things that we discovered last year was we like the workshops where you walk out of here with a playing guitar. We also don't like 7-day workshops. We want to do 5-day workshops. So if you guys are like, well, I sure did want to come to the woodworking one. Well, you still have a chance, but this is it. We're not doing any more after the ones that we're doing this year. Okay. So all the other ones are going to be the 5-day workshops where you walk out with a guitar. Now, notice, if you remember last year, we did the Les Paul workshop. That was a 7-day workshop, and you walked out with a guitar. We're not doing that one because they're going to be 5 days. Isn't that right, Chris? That's what we're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, if you want to do one of the ones that we still have, you still can. But once they're done, they're done. We did talk about doing a PRS flavor workshop. And we are going to do that. In fact, I sent a message to Steve on Monday morning and I said, I want to do this. I want to do it in September. Is that realistic? He said, yeah, let's do it. So the PRS workshop is going to be in September. What I need to know from you guys is when in September do you want to do it? Because I think it's going to be the last workshop of the year is September, the PRS workshop. So let me know what you guys want to when you want to do it, and we can probably arrange this a little bit. The other thing is I also talked to Steve today, and I said, Steve, what? I'm gonna make sure I got this right here. I said, Steve, we are going to announce the PRS workshop tonight. Do you know which model we will be building? Is it 24 frets? I lost the original files. Because Steve and I have been talking about this for several months, right? Okay. Steve, and you don't even know this. This is the stuff that I said I was going to tell you. Steve said, you want 24 ? We can do both 22 and 24 custom and McCarty models. And I said, do you think we can offer a choice or do you want to settle on one? He said, trim and or wraparound bridge. He said that we can mix and match. You can do whichever one you want. and so you could do like a 24 fret with a trem. That'd be like the classic one. You could do the McCarty, which would be 22 fret with a wraparound bridge. You could do, or you could mix and match. Now, these are all going to be mahogany necks, rosewood fretboards, mahogany body, maple top, carved top guitars, the PRS files. Okay. Some things that we can do is, like I said, we can mix and match stuff. Some things that we're not going to do, we're not going to do any binding because PRS doesn't do binding. I don't know if we're going to do reveal binding or not.
We can.
Okay. That in 5 days. Okay. We're not going to do bird inlays.
No,
we do not. We're not going to be offering bird inlays, but if you want dots, no problem. The other thing is we are not going to be able to source PRS specific hardware. So we're not going to be able to get PRS tuners, which I think is fine. We're not going to go with the man bridges, which I think is also fine. We will be going with Hipshot tuners and Hipshot trims. And we're going to be going with probably you'd be able to pick P90s or humbuckers. You're going to bring the pickups because I don't know what you want. So you can bring, just like we did with the Les Paul one, right? So if you want, like, say, if you want Dylan P90s, get Dylan P90s. You want Dylan humbuckers, get Dylan humbuckers. You want somebody else, get somebody else. The other thing is we will not be doing a 10-degree headstock angle. I think we'll probably go ahead and stick with the 7-degree headstock angle. So, do you have anything that you have any questions about the PRS workshop, Chris? It's going to be a big one.
Yeah. But no, we've done big workshops before, so we'll be good.
These are I wonder if we can get some PRS style truss rods for this. I don't think it's necessarily worth it, but I wonder if people would want to kind of nerd out on some of that stuff.
Okay.
I guess if they were going to nerd out on that, they'd want to nerd out on, well, I got to have that right bridge and the right tune. At that point, you might as well just buy a PRS.
Yeah.
Right. So, guys, I'd like to know what you guys think about the PRS workshop. If you're interested in it, the reason we don't have it on the website yet is because we don't know what days work for you guys. Like, for example, Doug said he wanted to come down. Butch said he wanted to come down. No, I'm sorry, not Butch. Blue said he wanted to come down. Butch might want to come down too. I don't know. Butch has already signed up for one of the woodworking.
I was like, he's coming twice?
He might. So there are some questions that I have, like what days work for you? Which one of these models? Oh, they're both double cut too. We're not doing the single cut. Okay. So classic stuff here. So I'm going to go to your questions now and see what you have. Dan says, don't care when in September it is. Sign me up. Okay, cool, Dan. I think we are probably going to do like I think earlier the better, right? Because I think Doug said he wanted to come out and he wanted to be warm enough to play golf.
Well, yeah. That's usually all September, but
we will not be doing fish inlay, bear inlay, Floyd Rose trims. We will not be doing gator inlay. RVA Guitar says the Hipshot contour trim is very much like the PRS. It's really, really close. Yeah. If it had 6 screws, which they make one of, then it would be a dead ringer.
Oh,
so the man bridge has that piece that wraps around the saddles, like the Hipshot contour one. Hipshot makes like a 6-screw one. The man bridge is a 6-screw one.
Right.
Personally, I think that the 2-point trim is a better design, and I love Paul Reed Smith guitars.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, Dancing Bears we are not going to be doing. Shark Air says PRS CE semi-hollow electric guitar, custom color black with black binding. That sounds like a cool guitar. These will probably not be semi-hollow. They're going to be solid body guitars. And I realize that Paul Reed Smith has lots and lots of models. We're gonna be making one that's, that's very close. Did you know that the Paul Reed Smith back has a little scoop? It's not as deep as like a Strat one, but it's got a little scoop.
Yep.
So yeah,
it's a wee scoop.
Let's see. Let me filter through some of these here. Boy, there's a lot of good things that we will not be doing. Moons. So the PRS dots, and the one that I had, my 80 whatever it was PRS, it was early 80s. It was 87 or before. Had moon inlays. They were basically dots with a, as I recollect, the like a crescent moon of mother of pearl, and the rest of the dot was abalone, or it was switched around. I can't remember.
Okay.
Mine was a set neck mahogany maple top, but it was all red. There was no, obviously the fretboard wasn't red, but it was all red, and it was beautiful. God, it was a great guitar. I wish I still had it. If anyone ever asked me a lightning round of questions, I might say that guitar.
Okay.
But I might not. I might say my very, very first guitar that I ever had, but who knows? I guess we'll never know. Pre-91 heel. Okay, so there's a couple questions. Doug says, can we source 10 top wood? Yeah, Doug, we absolutely can. Now, okay, couple of things though. I believe that 10 top wood is an industry standard name, but it's also a proper name for PRS, particularly fantastic wood from their wood library, I think. So we can source like over the top wood. I'm not 100% sure that we can source it from PRS though. Okay. But yeah, we can have an option for that. In fact, that's a great option. I think like we could have like I don't think we shouldn't have like a plain top one. You know what I mean? For the workshop, like you should get something nice. You know what I mean?
Should get something nice. Yeah.
But if you want like really, really nice, maybe for an extra $100 or something, you could get something.
I am even willing to, for the first time ever, rub dye onto a piece of
paper and sand it back
to make it pop.
Okay. All right. That sounds
just
fun.
For you guys.
That sounds like a cool one. I don't see why black hardware is a big deal, Dan. I would just need to know that that's what you want. Bullet casing dots would be cool. They would be cool. Loring wants to know pre-91 heel. Are you familiar with the Paul Reed Smith heel?
No.
There is the current double cutaway Paul Reed Smith heel sticks out into the neck area quite a bit, and there are I think there are people in the Paul Reed Smith world that say it does something sonically. I don't know if it does or doesn't, but they didn't always used to have that. Loring, we can go with a pre-91 heel. I think that'd be a good idea. I suspect that the reason that they have that long heel now is they probably came up with something. It might have something to do with the double or the single cutaway. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I think we could do the as long as we do all of them with the same contour heel, I think we'll be fine. Brad Guitar Miller sent us a super chat and he says, I really like the idea of this class. We'll all depend on September date. Earlier the better. 22 fret with trem, I'm in. Okay, Brad. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm shooting for like the first weekend in September.
Okay.
But can we let's look that up and see when that is, Chris. I don't think anything is on the calendar for right now. Dan says, if you're dying, can I finally get green, Chris?
Sure.
Lee says, I have a 91 and a 94 CE24 Alder maple bodies. My favorite guitar. Those are great guitars. The original CEs had Alder bodies, and they switched to mahogany, I think. So the first week of September is September 2 through the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think about that? September 2nd through the 6th. Let me know if that works for you. Doc says Northern Lights finish. What is that? Is that where it like kind of fades from the front to the back? Doc, can you help me out with what that is? I'm not 100% sure when that is. Oh, Loring wants to know when Labor Day is. That's a good idea. Maybe we could schedule this around Labor Day, and then that way you guys would have to take a bunch of time off.
I don't know.
Is it not?
No, this isn't, because it's just a real calendar here.
Well, let me know. So, Loring, Loring, you're at your computer. Well, Loring might actually be on his phone. He says September 2nd is Labor Day. Dastardly Dave says, call me in anytime. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a really fun one, you guys. So just so that we want to have spectacular maple.
Yeah, September.
Okay, so Labor Day would be the first. Okay, so yeah, that would be cool. We want to have nice wood on every guitar, but we want to have an upgrade wood option. We want to be able to, you guys are going to be able to pick between 22 and 24 fret, trem, and wraparound bridge. Don't know what we're going to do for wraparound bridge yet. Probably the Tone Pros one, which I think is in many ways better because it's adjustable. Let me know what you guys think. I think that you guys want the shorter heel. I think that you guys, let me find out and see. Since we're not doing birds, I think doing the moon inlay thing might be really cool. How doable do you suppose that would be?
I don't know. I've never seen it. So
you imagine it's a regular Dawg, but a crescent moon part is, I mean, could we make those?
Maybe.
It would be a pain. It would be a pain, but we're only doing it this one time. So it's like, yeah, I mean, is it really that much of a pain? Loring wants to know 25-inch scale. Yes, we will be doing 25-inch scale. Lee Asbury says, I don't know if he wants to know if we can do this, but he says a nice natural Corina, which I would call white limba, CE24 style with P90s. Yeah, let's do that. If you want to come out and do that, man, we certainly can. 10-degree radius. I don't know what you mean. We can do a 10-inch radius, or we can do it. But we will be doing a 7-degree headstock. I don't think we're going to be going with the 10. I think, maybe we could. We could, if you guys want to do a 10-inch radius, and if you want to do a 10-degree headstock angle, we might could get away with a 10-degree because the headstock's short enough that we could still use the same mahogany neck lengths and do that. Yeah. Look at this. Oh, okay. Now, guys, Dylan comes through in the clutch. He says, for the rest of the year, send me proof of purchase for any workshop, and I'll send you a discount code for one set of pickups. So that's super cool. So Dylan is going to get you guys in for like whatever pickups you want to do for these workshops. And or if you just want pickups, So the center punch humbuckers would be cool. Remember, wasn't Thunder Punch a thing for I don't remember what that was, but yeah. Dylan is a class act. Loring, you're absolutely right. So very, very cool. Well, okay. Lee says with a stop tail bridge, I'm getting kind of excited. Lee, would you want to do just an all white limba body? Because Bobby Dill came out one time, brought his. Remember that guitar? It was it wasn't supposed to exist. It was built for somebody in the Paul Reed Smith management.
Yeah, it was like a head of sales or head of or something like that. Yeah,
and it was an all white limba custom 24, I think. But I think it had a wraparound. I can't remember. God, it was cool. Though.
National sales manager, I think, is who it was.
It it was from the whatever their custom shop is. Okay.
He liked it so much he sold it.
No, he had it. No, he didn't sell.
No, not Bobby. Dill.
Yeah, I'm like Bobby Dill.
The guy that got the guitar.
Yeah.
Originally, that it was built for, or they decided not to give it to him because they hated him.
They fired him before I.
Yeah. Caught him stealing toilet paper.
Chris is not drinking a Tab. I don't know if they even still make Tab.
I don't think they make Tab anymore. It's a Polar.
Polar Pop.
Tart cherry limeade.
That looks pretty good.
Well, I think these things actually make my stomach go gurgle, gurgle.
You can attest
to that. Yeah. Because I was fine, and then I started drinking this, and
So, what do you guys think about like I said, there are some things that we can match on the PRS, and some stuff that we just are not going to be able to do. Like we could get the man bridges. They're going to be really expensive though compared to the Hipshot stuff. And I don't think you're getting a better bridge. I think you're getting a different bridge, and I have no problem at all with the man hardware. But I don't know if we can even get the PRS tuners. Like I don't even I don't one, I don't think it's worth it. Two, I don't think it's even something that we could do. You know what I mean? And we could bend over backwards. But the simple fact of the matter is that we can I don't think that Hipshot is second to anybody
No.
in the industry for hardware. So going with Hipshot hardware, the other cool thing is they're eminently customizable.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you use their locking tuner and you change the buttons, Hipshot, and get some buttons that look more PRS like.
Sure.
Or
they have those
whatever.
They have those new buttons now. Did you know that?
No.
I don't know why I know that, but there was a bunch of news releases about new PRS buttons.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah. Okay. Great.
You know what else you could do? And Doug did this. You could get like a chrome and or nickel trim and gold saddles, which I think would be cool. I always thought that was a cool thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That it sort of copped that look a little bit.
Yep. So Doug says he doesn't need to have PRS stuff. If he wanted PRS stuff, he'd just buy a PRS, but he wants to build his own, which is totally cool.
Yeah.
Shane says Hipshot hardtail bridges are the bomb. Yes, sir, they are. Hipshot or Graphtec ratio tuners. Yeah, so Lee, we tried the ratio tuners and actually I liked them just fine.
Yeah.
I think we landed on Hipshot because we just we buy a lot of tuners. And I think what we just decided was let's just land on one, right?
Yeah. I think and we really like the way because we almost use and not almost, it's absolutely exclusive. We use the open gear.
Yeah.
Exclusively. And whether open gear non-locking or open gear locking, that's just our tuner.
By the way, fun fact that I think is fun, you might not think is that fun. Do you know why I decided that I wanted open gear tuners?
No.
Because Paul Reed Smith uses them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like the way they look, but but when I found out that they had them, Hipshot had them, I'm like, let's use those. I also like the way Waverly's look, which is also open gear.
Well, yeah, and I like where the screw is. It's not up to the side; it's in the center. I like that. I mean, they're really cool. So, and yeah, they're super smooth, and I feel like I'm spoiled now. Every time I was goofing around with that cheap acoustic yesterday, and those tuners are I think the gear ratio is about 4-to-1, and they're really hard to turn. Yeah, and you're like,
we used to put Spurzels on everything, and I had no problem with Spurzels until I started using the Hipshot stuff.
Yeah, we had a couple bad sets, which is kind of a big deal, especially back then when we didn't exactly we bought exactly the number that we needed, and when you have a bad set, then you have
a big deal.
One less set than you need. Now we buy enough and we don't. I can count on one hand, probably this many fingers, the time that we've had a bad tuner.
Yeah. How many we go through hundreds of sets of tuners a year.
Yeah, we do, between classes and builds and stuff like that. Yeah. And what was I going to say? And just being familiar with the tuner and how it goes in and the ins and outs. The thing that I liked about the Hipshots, the Spurzels were really, really hard to install, really finicky.
They didn't have screws. They had like a little
a post,
and
right?
it wasn't a post. It was a roll pin.
It was a roll pin.
Yeah.
And it took a long time to figure out, one, how to get the hole where you wanted it. Two, the roll pin wasn't always in the tuner string.
It wasn't perpendicular.
No, so sometimes, and the other thing, the housing on that stuff's aluminum, and the nut is aluminum, and they like to strip out.
Yeah, that's
so. So after a while, I'd pre-assemble the tuner to make sure that that everything went in, and then I would put it in and bend or move the roll pin and get everything set just right. And then every once in a while, you'd run into one that just had a bunch of extra lash for some reason. I could never figure that out.
I think I might switch it because I still have that Strat at the house.
2 roll pins, right?
That there was at least one, yeah. Maybe there were 2. I think I'm going to bring my Strat in one day and put a new set of Hipshot locking tuners on it, or maybe not, because sometimes I like to experiment with different tunings. So maybe I'll just put regular tuners on it. But yeah. Okay, let's see.
You can always wrap them a little bit with the locking tuner too.
Oh, that's true.
But
so Loring and Joy are talking, and I think there is a you know who Joy is.
Oh, Joy,
not Joey. Joy are talking about build something that PRS doesn't make and have like a kind of a one of a kind.
Yeah.
Martin Murray asks, can we bring a Jazzmaster trim? Martin, I'm not sure if you're talking about in the PRS workshop or in general. I don't think that because the PRS is a carved top, a Jazzmaster trim, I'm not going to say it's not gonna work, but short answer, it's not going to work. Long answer, it would work, but it would take a lot of effort. And no, we're not going to do that in 5 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Hipshot open gear locking tuners, Dan. I'm totally on board. Oh, you know what? You know what? It wasn't Joy. It was Doug, Joey Dano. Yeah, you're right. Build what PRS doesn't. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm blind. Hipshot seems to be very good quality and it's at a reasonable price. Okay, Lefty, you're absolutely right. I'm not 100% sure that every single thing that Hipshot makes is made in America anymore. I did just talk to Oscar the other day. I know there's stuff that went to chrome plating in the United States. So because I'm waiting on an order, I'm like, hey, did my order go out yet? Because if it didn't, I kind of need to add a bunch of stuff to it.
Yeah.
But so the finding an American-made tuner, I think it's Spurzel, and I think that's it. I don't know if Waverly might be made in America. I don't know. But you've got like Shellooe, or I'm guessing German.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Godo stuff is Japanese, or isn't there some China?
There's probably some Taiwanese stuff, that they make.
Finding an American made,
I don't know where those are made.
I don't think. Yeah, I think the days of Grover being made in the United States are over.
Yeah, I think so. You could buy cheap knockoffs and almost as nice.
Guys, I could be wrong. You would know more about it than I do. I know that Hipshot all used to be made in America. I don't think they are anymore. Some of it probably still is, like the I don't know, the headless guitar part. Some of that stuff probably is.
Yeah.
But
I think the bridges still are.
They may be.
All the screws are American.
Okay.
So the tuners.
The tuner box used to say "Made in America," and they don't anymore. So anymore. Yeah,
pretty sure those are made overseas, but still good.
They're excellent. So finding a I think you're right. Finding a American-made tuner is not easy. Let's say that. You guys might know some things that I don't know. And in fact, I'm sure you do. But I do know that Spurzels are actually made in America, but we weren't super thrilled. So we switched to Hipshot and we've never looked back. And that was what, a decade ago. I can remember when you could buy individual Shellooe locking tuners from Warmoth, I think $10 or $12 each, so it wasn't really that long ago. Yeah, Lee, you can still do that with Hipshot. You can get, if you need like 4 and 2 or 3 and 3, or you're making a 7-string, you buy a set and then 1 to go with it, or if you're doing a 5-string or whatever. You can buy all that stuff individual. Tom says Spurzel is all USA. You're absolutely right. Tom, I've seen the machines. I know for a fact that Spurzel is made in USA. Hey, Richard Ryan's here. Richard, I think that some of the Tone Pro stuff might not be made in America, and I don't know if they make tuners.
I don't think they do.
I think they just do the bridge. And again, I could be wrong. You guys would know more than I do. Vinny says that Hipshot says on their website that some parts are made in Korea. Yeah, and that's cool. We are looking at September 2nd for the PRS workshop, and again, we're going to be making PRS flavor guitars. So right now, guys, what we're looking at is good maple with an upgrade option, 25-inch scale, 24 or 22 fret, your choice of pickups. They're all carved top, mahogany neck, rosewood fretboard, mahogany back, maple top, again, maple that we talked about. If you want to do like white limba, maybe we can make that happen. I would advise you to do maple though. We're going to be going with Hipshot hardware for the bridge and trim. You provide your own pickups, P90 or humbucker. P90 or humbucker. That's what we're doing. Don't come and go, I want to do, I realize that PRS has made lots of guitars. We're focusing on humbucker or P90. Cool. What else, Chris? We're going to do, you said you let everyone do die finishes if they want. Oh, pre-91 heel. Let me know if there's some other stuff that you guys want to do. And we're looking at September 2 for the PRS workshop. And I think, guys, that we are so busy right now. I think this might be the last workshop of the year. I think September might close us out for this year.
Yeah, because we have from March until August, actually until September now, one a month.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yes, that's 7.
Yeah. Pete Strunk says Kluson. Kluson is the name Kluson is owned by WD now.
And those are made in Korea.
Yeah, and it's good stuff.
Yeah.
We've had lots of luck with the Kluson stuff. But yeah, it is not the same Kluson as it was in the 50s.
Right? No, that company went completely under and WD bought the name.
Yeah.
Dan
says, I'll email you tomorrow. Please do, Dan. Yeah, so guys, if you want to get in on this action of the PRS workshop, or really any of the other workshops, like we've got one next month with Dylan. Dylan's coming out here for that one. You're going to be doing pickup winding and all kinds of good stuff. Building the body, doing all the fret work. Steve's going to be providing you with the neck that Dylan spec'd. You get all the parts and you walk out with a guitar after 5 days that you can play.
Yep.
What kind of body wood are we going to do for that one? Because I think what we might do is just go, hey Steve, what do you got? That way, because we don't have to order it. We just, Steve's got everything. Yeah. You want an alder one? Great. You want ash? Fine. Mahogany? Whatever.
Yeah. We could do something like that. Yeah, mahogany's good. Alder would be good. Ash is okay.
Yeah. I think ash is a great wood for, like, if you're going to do like an opaque color, there's no point in using ash, right?
No, yeah. If you're gonna do something where you want to see a bunch of grain, a bunch of unique grain, ash is really good. Ash is fun because it has hard and soft spots, and those soft spots just sort of disappear under sandpaper. So all of a sudden you've got kind of a wavy surface if you're not really, really careful. Dare I say, good at sanding.
Dare I say, good at sanding is absolutely right.
Whereas mahogany, so like on a Telecaster, there's no big roundovers on that guitar. It's all fairly flat.
Yeah, if you're making a Tele, ash is great.
So ash is great for a Telecaster, but an ash Strat, there's almost nothing that's flat. The back is flat for part, the top is flat for part, but all those big half-inch roundovers and all those cutaways and all that stuff takes a lot of extra attention.
Yep. Lee says P90 PRS hasn't been doing many soap bars in recent memory. Shame. Yeah, so if you guys want to do a PRS style guitar with P90s, that'd be cool. Super cool. Shane asks, is installing carbon rods in a neck a major undertaking for a workshop? And Lefty says it depends on the workshop. He's right. So first of all, no, it's not. If you come out to one of, like, say you come out to the 52 no caster workshop, if you really want carbon fiber rods in there, that's not a big shake to put in. We can do that. Though I don't think it's necessary.
Right.
If you want to do that for one of the 2 woodworking workshops that are left this year, yeah, it's not a big deal to do. We can do that. I need to know about it because I don't keep a lot of carbon fiber rods in the shop. We use more steel than anything else, and we usually do that on bass necks. So if you want steel rods, that's no big shake. But yeah, if you want carbon fiber rods, that's easy to do. We can do that. Okay. Doc wants to know if we have any experience with Primavera white mahogany as a body wood. Can't say that I've ever heard of it. Which is not surprising. There's so many woods. There's so much stuff that you could use for bodies and necks, but I've used a bunch of different woods, and after using a bunch of different woods, it has finally made it into my thick skull that the further I stray away from mahogany, maple, alder, ash, rosewood, ebony, I'm gonna go ahead and say like white limba, carina. Did I miss one?
No, I think you could add poplar and basswood, although we don't use those much.
I think the further you get away from those woods, the more you have to start explaining stuff to guitar buyers.
In some ways, apologizing.
Yeah.
Or feeling like you need to.
Yeah.
At least explain it.
Yeah. But guitar buyers, guitar players know those woods, and that's the stuff that they think a guitar should be made of. You can't fault them for that, right?
Yep.
So I'm looking at the wall there. If you said, "Oh, well, I made this really cool SG out of zebra wood," cool. What's that? And why didn't you use regular old? I mean, these are questions that I've gotten from guitar players. Well, why didn't you use this? Why did you use that instead of regular mahogany? That's what it's supposed to be. So yeah, I think that I'm sure there was lots of great stuff, and and it depends on where you live, but like, man, alder and mahogany and some of that stuff is so cheap. And if you're making one or 100, it's not like you're gonna, you know what I mean, like saving $1 a board foot to not use a standard wood is something that I just don't do a lot of anymore, unless somebody asks for something specific. Like so sometimes Doug Santaniello says, "Hey, I want an Omaha or I want an all walnut." Okay, cool, let's do that. It's Doug, and so that's what he wants, so that's what we make. If some guy said, "Hey, I want an all Yojimbe guitar," and handed me, a bunch of $100 bills until I said stop. Yeah, sure, we'll make an all Yojimbe guitar. But okay,
we haven't made an all Yojimbe guitar
ever.
No, I've used a lot of Yojimbe in the past.
A lot of Yojimbe.
It is nice.
Pete wants to know, I will be coming out for the May workshop. When do you send out email about the guitar parts you need to bring and other stuff? Pete, I have been very behind the curve on that one, and I apologize for that. I will be sending that out very, very soon. One of the my excuse is I'm not good at paperwork, and my other excuse is we were going to be using this thing called RSVPify. And it was a neat way to, like, everybody got to like sign up for the workshop, and it had like a little description of everything, and we knew who was coming, and we knew where, and it had like here's all the hotels and stuff that are around the shop, and it had stuff like that. Well, then I went to go make all the other ones for all the other classes, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, you can only do one at a time unless you pay us $24 a month." I'm like, man, that's like $250 a year for something that's just kind of fun. I'm already paying for a website. We need to have something like this on the website. So we're working on something like that right now. And as soon as we get that, we're going to refocus that priority and put that at the top of the list. And maybe I'll get something together this week. And I realize this week's almost over, but as you know, I work on Saturday and Sunday too. So maybe we'll get something together in the next couple of days and send it out. So Pete, I know you're coming to that. My big thing is I need to know like who needs to bring what and what people need from me and things like that. So it's no big shake. We'll get it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you, Pete. And I apologize for kind of being, a schlub. That's me. Okay. Rick asks, do you guys not like answering guitars questions? I feel like I'm busting balls, but I hear them too. Rick, I think I must have missed your question. I'm sorry. We were kind of talking about some other stuff. Rick, please ask your guitar. Please ask your guitar question, and we'll be happy to. Tom, take care, man. When you get a bunch of comments coming, here's why. I'm not on live chat. I'm on top chat, so I'm missing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's why. Aha. Okay, let's switch to
and stuff put a bunch of question marks in front of it or a bunch of exclamation points.
Yeah. So I just switched to live chat. And by the way, we've only got 10 minutes. Yeah.
You got his one. So who knows?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Rick, I'm gonna go back here and see if I can find something. Guys, I'm sorry if I missed your questions or missed any of your stuff. You can always send me an email. Butch, yes, I'll get you. You know what I'll do, Butch? I'll just send Dylan a thing of who's coming to what. Oh crap! Now I did it. Rick says no, not today. I'm just trying to know if I jam you guys up. No, I don't think so, Rick. If we see him, we see him, and if we answer him, we answer him. We try to always answer super chat stuff and read super chat stuff, or if you're a member, we try to answer that stuff as best we can. But if you want to come, I tell you what, this is the forum to ask us questions. Rather than if you send me an email, I will probably answer your question if I get it. Sometimes those emails get intercepted and I don't even see them.
Yeah.
And like Joy will answer it, or Chris will answer it, or somebody else will answer it.
Yeah. Sometimes some shows are better for question and answer than others too. And sometimes it just sort of turns into that.
Yeah.
And that's a good time to ask a question.
Yeah. But I like it in shows though.
Other stuff going on
that's true too.
We may have answered it, we may not have answered it tonight, just because we were talking about,
I like to do it in the live stream though, because like if Rick has a question, maybe I don't know, maybe
we can share it with the world.
Maybe Pete has the same question, and I'm like, well, let's answer it for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, whenever you want to. Oh man, yeah. So there's lots of good places around here to stay. Now, one thing I will let you guys know is that what I want to do is, like, if say Chris is coming out to a workshop. Let's just say you're coming out for the first time, and I happen to also be coming out to the workshop, and I've been out here one other time, or Dave, or Doug, or Doc, or some guys who've been here before. If you're in that, what I want to be able to do is, like, if you're in part of the group thing, you guys can email back and forth and go, hey, we're staying at the Quality Inn. Are you staying there too? Yeah. Well, you want to share a car, or do you want to, go to get breakfast in the morning, or that happens a lot.
That does happen. Yeah.
But like, so Dave and Doug and Doc and there's a lot of people who've been here multiple times, and I'm just forgetting names right now, but they'll do that, like Brian or Raul, and those
three guys will all stay at the same place every time. They have their place.
Yeah,
where are you staying? Our place.
Yeah, we're going back.
Oh, okay, cool, because they know it. They're used to it.
But like, if somebody wanted to
Dave
get
and Doug will share a car if they can.
I don't know why people don't do this, and maybe it's my fault. Like, 6 guys could get an Airbnb, and like that, there would be way less money, and they could get one car, and they could fill up the fridge with, I don't know,
bologna and beer.
And what's the ice cream that starts with B?
Butterscotch.
Yeah, sure. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, so I mean, if I put that out there as like an easy way for you guys to, like, if 3 guys wanted to get an Airbnb, or 4 guys, whatever, and even if like that, hey, I don't know you, but you're going to this cool thing, and so we have that in common. You guys might like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or you might want to have your own room. I don't know what you do. Yeah. I'm sure if you get an Airbnb, you get to have your own room. So Bluebell, thank you, Stinky Whizzle Teats. I probably mispronounced that. Lee says, what kind of neck carve can we do? That's most important to me on a guitar. Well, Lee, are you talking about on the PRS one? It would be whatever the wide thin neck is on the PRS one. If you're doing one of the Fender ones, we have a handful of contours that we have. We have the V to C neck that we can do on a Strat or a Tele. We have the modern C that we can do. And then if you come to one of the woodworking ones, well, sir, you can do any neck carve you want because you're going to carve it. And you're going to carve it by hand. I will show you how. So yeah, I mean, if neck carve is something that you're like, man, I got to have exactly precisely this neck carve, I would recommend one of the woodworking workshops. Now, the downside to those is you don't walk out of here with a guitar that's ready to play.
And there's one of those classes this year.
No, there's two.
There's two of those classes this year. Yeah. So good news.
Yeah. So we doubled it. Yeah. I think there's one in April and one in some other month. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, and so Lauren was saying that the light rail comes it's a block that way.
It is. Yeah.
So
yeah, from the airport, it's yeah.
Or if you stay downtown,
I think you have to get off at Union Station, but yeah.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, if you stay downtown, you could walk to Union Station and get on the light rail. Basically, take you right here. You can.
There's also some fairly nice Airbnbs around here. There's also some Airbnbs where it's like it's like a little studio apartment or something like that.
Yeah, there's some big ones and there's some wee ones.
There's not a lot of hotels around here that I would recommend, unless you like to live dangerously. But there are some within driving distance or short Uber trips.
Yeah, if you go 5 miles away, you can get to some pretty swanky ones. Yeah, if you go 5 blocks away, it's
you're probably gonna get stabbed.
Remember, the shop is in an industrial neighborhood, and industrial neighborhoods are not exactly known for 5-star accommodations.
No,
generally speaking,
correct.
No matter where you.
Yeah, it's industrial, and then it's residential right outside of that. There's not a lot of what would you call a neighborhood that's got a lot of hotels?
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a word for that, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but there are a bunch of those places.
Hospitality neighborhoods.
Sure, let's go with that. Yeah,
you like that? Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a hospitality.
Lee says, yes, PRS wide thin is my preference, but I would be cool to shape a neck and experiment. Yeah, man, you should come on and do it. Listen to Doc. He knows. He's been out here for a couple of them. He says the woodworking workshop's fantastic. Dan says, Chris showed me all I need to know about the light rail. Oh, that's right. You guys took you had a little bit of a we
took the light rail, and then I gave him the 5-cent Larimer Street. There's a lot of beer consumed that night.
Michael, man, hey Michael, we haven't seen you for a while. He says the train is right there. If that helps anyone, that's how I did a lot of my travel. Michael, are you up in Wyoming right now? Butch says maybe Ike will let us crash at Flipside. Ike's house is right down the street. I mean, everybody could crash at Ike's house.
It's not within walking distance.
No, but Ike will be happy to wake up early and give you a ride.
Sure.
You know what we should
extra vehicles.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
You know what we've often talked about. Now, this is not something that there's any plan to do anytime soon, but there's been talk of renting the building next to the shop and turning it into basically a flop house.
I was going to say dorm room.
That sounds way nicer.
Yeah,
we
bunk
get
house.
Bunk house.
Let's go with that.
Team room. We could get some bunk beds and some TVs. I mean, we could pay for that place with guys coming out like that. But we'd have to have classes more often than we can actually physically have classes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you have to put in a shower.
Maybe at least one shower.
Absolutely.
Smelling stinky armpits all week. So
yeah.
Okay, gang. Well, I want you guys to go over and check out Dylan over at his page, Dylan Talks Tone, and he and his lovely wife Leslie are going to be hanging out with you guys for the next hour or two. We are deciding what we want to do for tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what it's going to be. It might be something. It might be nothing. Is it going to be something? Are we going to do something tomorrow, Chris? We do something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is, but I'm sorry to put you on the spot like that, but after I put Chris on the spot, we agreed that we're going to do something.
We will do something. Okay. Yes.
So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you tomorrow. If you want to check us out for that, go check out Dylan and Leslie. And until then, this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that life is short. You might as well have a cool guitar. And if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. That's what I did. We'll see you guys next time. Later. Next time. Yeah.